1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's up, y'all? This is Vincanity, and welcome to VincaniTV, the channel that teaches you about breaking and the hip-hop culture. Today, we're going to continue to learn about things you need to know before attempting a windmill. And today's topic is actually more specific to a backspin, and that is the exact position that you need to be in when you do a backspin. Now, a lot of people jump right past this step and they learn how to kick, they learn how to spin. What tends to happen is they spin in the wrong spot, or they wobble as they spin because they don't have control, and that results in traveling in a backspin. And I have a friend when I was younger that traveled his backspin straight into a wall, and I'll tell you, his head did not feel good the next day. So today we're gonna work on the position we need to be in for the backspin. If anyone needs extra help with their breaking, make sure you hop into one of my beginner or intermediate breaking classes. We do classes every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. And if you miss a class, you can rewatch it at any time. Click the link below, sign up, and I will see you next Tuesday. Lastly, before we hop into this video, make sure you press the like button to help push the YouTube algorithm and push this video to new audiences. All right, without further ado, let's get started. All right, y'all, so for the backspin, there's a lot of details to it, but one important detail is just where do we go on our back. Some people, when they first start, they end up spinning on their butt. Some people end up spinning on their lower back. Some people end up spinning on that little tiny spike in the middle of your back, which really does not feel good. And some people spin a little bit above it. For both backspins and windmills, the higher we are on our backs, the better they are gonna look. So by practicing where we are gonna be, it's gonna help us get to that point much faster and with control while we're doing backspins, while we're doing windmills. So learning this is part of the foundation of learning a backspin, and this is also gonna help translate into higher windmills, okay? So the first thing is, where on our backs do we wanna be, right? So we basically wanna be on our upper back, almost to our shoulders. And the way that we're gonna practice that is by laying back just like this with our legs up and our arms out. And a lot of people have a hard time getting past this point. So if you do have a hard time getting your legs up any higher than this, what I would recommend is going back and actually just kicking your legs up until they get to the floor like this, okay? What we wanna do is hold this position, right? And if you need to have your hands here to help you balance, go ahead and do that. But once we get to this point, we wanna practice lifting up our legs. You could do it one at a time, okay? And you wanna try to get it parallel to the floor. So if you can see a mirror or something like that, try to make sure your legs are parallel to the floor, right? And if you can see, I'm on my shoulders right here. I'm not like flat backed right here. I mean, if you were really flexible, you could probably, do this, but that's not gonna result in the greatest backspin, right? So we wanna get high up here to basically eliminate as much friction, as much surface area from touching the floor, okay? So we get to here, we put our arms out, we lift up one leg, right? And if you can, lift up the other leg and try to make your legs as wide as you can. Don't do it like this, don't do it all lopsided. Make your legs parallel to the floor and make them as wide as you personally can. And we're gonna hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, everyone relax. Okay, so you might have noticed while you're in that position, the blood rushes to your head, and also it's hard to breathe, right? Your body is like all crunched up like this, so it's kind of hard to breathe. So make sure while you're there, practice breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, and you're not gonna be able to get deep breaths like that because your body's all crunched in. So learning this move also involves learning how to breathe. So make sure you spend some time practicing breathing. Once we feel comfortable getting to that position. The next thing that we want to do is practice hovering our arms, right? Our arms also could create friction if they're touching the ground, right? The whole goal right now is to eliminate as many things from touching the ground. Imagine trying to spin this roll of tape on its side. It's not going to spin nearly as much as if I flip it this way and only a little tiny bit of it touches the floor. So this time, let's eliminate our arms from touching the floor. Okay, here we go. Ready? Starting position. We roll back.
We get our legs up as high as we can. And again, this is just a stop for us to go to. But if you could go straight to here, go straight to here. Get your legs parallel to the floor. Put your arms straight out. And, you know, unless you have a mirror or maybe even look at your cell phone to see if your legs are parallel, okay? Put your arms straight out and just find comfort in this position. Once you find that comfort and control, slowly lift up your arms. And if you wanted to, you could do one arm at a time to really get comfortable. But we're gonna go ahead and lift up both arms and hover them over the ground, and let's hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone relax.
All right, y'all. So now the last little detail is your head, right? And this is the hardest part because right now you're basically resting on your shoulders and the back of your head. But when you do the backspin, essentially your head is not gonna be touching the floor, right? So you're gonna be really just on your shoulders. So the last part, and it's actually, this is the hardest part, I would say, because leaning your head forward is gonna make you start to tilt back to a sitting position. So we're gonna imagine that we're in the position, we're resting on our shoulders and the back of our head. We're gonna try to lift up our head like this and just balance on our shoulders. This sounds easy, but it's actually pretty difficult. And let's try to just balance there in that position. If you end up falling back to your head, that's completely okay. If you end up rolling forward, that's completely okay. Our goal is to eventually find that sweet spot that we get to stay at and have us spin really fast, okay? Here we go, let's try it again. Ready? Everyone go ahead, lean back,
Legs to the floor, wide as you can, and arms out. Hover your legs off the floor, parallel to the floor. As wide as you can. Hover your hands off the ground. And when you lift up your head, it's this slight, almost roll forward, where you're gonna have to adjust your legs, and you're gonna hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Woo. Now the end part could be a little bit shifty. You might take a little while to get there, and again, if it's easier to keep your hands on the floor, you could always take a step back, put your hands on the floor, get your head off, and then bring your hands up. But either way, you do want to get that balance there. Now I have to say, when you're going fast, getting your head off the ground is a whole lot easier. Your head is just going to naturally come off the ground. But the reason why we want to get comfortable in this position, so we eliminate that time that we're trying to find the right position on our back, right? As soon as we kick and spin, we're already spinning in the right spot. And this is why I say a lot of people tend to skip this step when learning the backspin. So make sure you add this to your practice. Hold this position, for 30 seconds to a minute before every practice and even after every practice. Really just get comfortable with this. I promise you, your backspins and your windmills will be a lot easier to learn. Again, if anyone needs extra help with their breaking, make sure you click the link below, hop into one of my classes. We do classes every single Tuesday at 4 and 5 p.m. You can also support this channel by purchasing yourself some of my merch on my website, also linked below. We have many different designs from different artists that you could choose from. Lastly, do me a huge favor by pressing the like button, the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care, y'all. Peace.